The Kuskokwim River, one of Alaska's longest and most significant rivers, flows through the remote and rugged terrain of southwest Alaska, carving a path that is as rich in history as it is in natural beauty. Stretching approximately 1,165 kilometers, 725 miles, from its source in the Kuskokwim Mountains to its mouth at Kuskokwim Bay on the Bering Sea, the river winds through landscapes that include snow-capped peaks, dense boreal forests, wide tundra plains, and expansive wetlands. The Kuskokwim is the second longest river in Alaska and serves as a critical artery for transportation, sustenance, and cultural life for the indigenous Yupik and Athabaskan peoples who have inhabited the region for thousands of years. The river's basin, covering roughly 129,000 square kilometers, 50,000 square miles, is an area that remains largely untouched by roads and infrastructure, underscoring the remote and wild nature of this part of the state. Named by Russian explorers who adapted the indigenous word Kuskokvak, meaning big slow-moving thing, the Kuskokwim River epitomizes the Alaska wilderness, vast, powerful, and teeming with wildlife. The river flows through diverse ecological zones, from alpine and subalpine regions near its source to extensive wetland areas closer to the coast. This gradient supports a wide range of flora and fauna, making the Kuskokwim one of Alaska's ecological treasures. Its waters are home to abundant fish populations, including salmon, which play a vital role in the diet and culture of the local communities and form the basis of subsistence economies. The river's wetlands serve as breeding grounds for migratory birds, while its forests and surrounding plains support populations of moose, caribou, bears, and other wildlife that thrive in the cold Alaskan environment. The Kuskokwim River is also a river of enduring cultural and historical significance. Indigenous groups have depended on its resources for generations, using its waters not only for fishing but also for transportation and as a source of freshwater in an otherwise harsh and unforgiving landscape. The river and its tributaries have long served as a natural highway, providing an essential link between isolated villages and communities. In winter, when the river freezes solid, it becomes a unique network of ice roads that locals use to travel between villages by snowmobile and dog sled. This seasonal rhythm is central to life in the region, marking time through freeze and thaw cycles that dictate the seasonal activities, harvests, and traditions of the Yupik and Athabaskan people. These communities maintain a deep cultural connection to the river, with oral histories, art, and ceremonial practices often centered around the Kuskokwim and its role as a life-giving force. Despite its remoteness, the Kuskokwim River has drawn interest and exploration since the early days of Russian and, later, American presence in Alaska. The river's basin became a site of significant activity during the 19th century for trade and, later, during the Alaska Gold Rush, when prospectors were lured by reports of rich mineral deposits in the area. However, its isolated location and extreme conditions limited large-scale settlement, and today the Kuskokwim region remains sparsely populated. While there have been efforts to develop infrastructure and industry along the river, including mining and limited commercial fishing, these have often sparked debates about preserving the environment and the traditional way of life. Ecologically, the Kuskokwim River Basin is of critical importance, containing a wide array of habitats that support both resident and migratory species. Its pristine waters and surrounding landscapes are habitats for numerous fish species, most notably the various salmon species that migrate upriver each year to spawn. Salmon is not only a keystone species in the river's ecosystem but also a central part of the diet, economy, and culture of the local communities. The health of the salmon populations in the Kuskokwim is closely tied to the well-being of the people who live along the river, with any changes in salmon numbers having profound implications for the entire ecosystem and the human population that relies on it. One of the most notable aspects of the Kuskokwim River is its extensive wetlands, which are among the largest in North America and play a crucial role in the global ecosystem. These wetlands provide breeding grounds for millions of migratory birds, including ducks, geese, swans, and shorebirds, many of which travel from distant regions in Asia and North America. The wetlands also serve as a vital carbon sink, helping to regulate global carbon levels and mitigate climate change. However, these sensitive ecosystems face threats from both local and global sources, including climate change, which is altering the seasonal freeze-thaw cycles that are essential to the river's natural rhythms. Climate change poses one of the greatest challenges to the Kuskokwim River and its surrounding ecosystems. Rising temperatures have led to shorter, milder winters and earlier thaws, disrupting traditional patterns and impacting the availability of resources for both wildlife and local communities. Melting permafrost, a common feature in the region, is also a concern, as it can lead to soil erosion and changes in water quality. For communities that rely on the river for their water supply, such changes are particularly troubling, as they affect not only the quality of drinking water but also the health of fish populations and other wildlife that are sensitive to shifts in temperature and sedimentation. The Kuskokwim River also holds untapped economic potential, particularly in the form of mineral resources and, potentially, renewable energy. There are significant mineral deposits in the region, including gold, which has drawn interest from mining companies over the years. The proposed Donlin Gold Mine, one of the largest undeveloped gold deposits in the world, is situated near the Kuskokwim and has been a topic of both hope and controversy. Supporters argue that the mine could bring much-needed jobs and economic opportunities to the area, while opponents raise concerns about the potential environmental impact on the river, particularly the risks of pollution that could affect water quality, fish populations, and the livelihoods of subsistence-based communities. In addition to mining, there has been interest in developing renewable energy projects in the Kuskokwim region, particularly in the form of hydropower. The river's remote location and the high cost of transporting fossil fuels to the area make renewable energy an attractive alternative for the small, isolated communities along its banks. Small-scale hydropower projects could provide a sustainable and affordable source of energy, reducing reliance on expensive imported fuels and helping to lower the region's carbon footprint. However, any development must be carefully balanced with the need to preserve the river's natural ecosystems and the traditional lifestyles of the people who depend on them. Transportation on the Kuskokwim River is a unique aspect of life in the region, with the river serving as a primary route for travel and trade. In the summer, barges and boats navigate its waters, transporting goods to and from remote villages that are often inaccessible by road. During winter, the river freezes solid, creating a network of ice roads that connect communities and provide a means of travel for people and goods. This seasonal transformation of the river from a flowing waterway to a frozen thoroughfare is an integral part of the local culture and economy, shaping the lives of those who live along its banks and offering a sense of continuity in an otherwise challenging environment. The Kuskokwim River is also notable for the resilience of the people who call its basin home. The Yupik and Athabaskan communities have developed intricate knowledge of the river and its seasonal rhythms, adapting their lifestyles to the cycles of freeze and thaw, abundance and scarcity. Traditional knowledge, passed down through generations, includes detailed understanding of fish migration patterns, animal behavior, and weather conditions, all of which are essential for survival in the Arctic environment. This deep connection to the land and water has fostered a sense of stewardship among the people of the Kuskokwim, who view themselves as caretakers of the river and its resources. In recent years, the Kuskokwim River has been at the center of efforts to promote sustainable practices and protect indigenous rights. Local organizations, conservation groups, and indigenous leaders have worked together to address the challenges facing the river, advocating for policies that respect traditional knowledge and prioritize the health of the ecosystem. Initiatives have included measures to protect salmon populations, monitor water quality, and develop community-based conservation strategies that empower local residents to take an active role in managing their natural resources. The emphasis on sustainable practices reflects a growing awareness of the need to balance economic development with environmental preservation, particularly in areas as ecologically sensitive as the Kuskokwim River Basin. In essence, the Kuskokwim River is a vital and vibrant part of Alaska's natural and cultural heritage. It is a river that flows not only through the landscape but through the lives of the people who live along its banks, shaping their traditions, livelihoods, and identity. The Kuskokwim remains a testament to the resilience of both nature and human communities in one of the most remote and challenging regions of the world. In conclusion, the Kuskokwim River is a remarkable natural and cultural treasure, integral to the identity and survival of the communities it supports. Flowing through the breathtaking landscapes of southwest Alaska, the river has shaped not only the geography of the region but also the lives, traditions, and sustenance of the indigenous peoples who have lived in harmony with its waters for millennia. As a vital resource for transportation, food, and cultural practices, the Kuskokwim serves as a lifeline in an environment that can be both beautiful and harsh. However, the Kuskokwim River faces significant challenges in an era marked by climate change, industrial development, and environmental degradation. The delicate ecosystems surrounding the river, along with the livelihoods of the communities that depend on it, are increasingly at risk. As temperatures rise and weather patterns shift, the traditional knowledge that has guided these communities for generations is being tested, highlighting the urgent need for sustainable management practices that honor both the river's ecological integrity and the cultural heritage of its people. The future of the Kuskokwim River hinges on a collaborative approach that balances development with preservation. Empowering local communities to take an active role in decision-making, prioritizing conservation efforts, and fostering partnerships that respect indigenous rights are essential for protecting this invaluable resource. By embracing a stewardship model that integrates traditional knowledge with modern science, there is hope for a sustainable future where the Kuskokwim River continues to thrive as a vital ecosystem and cultural cornerstone for generations to come. In this way, the Kuskokwim River will remain not only a flowing body of water but a living testament to the resilience and adaptability of both nature and the people who cherish it.